Welcome to the Wedding Songs Podcast, featuring newly released songs you need to know and the tried and true classics. Get song ideas from the time guests arrive until the last dance of the reception. And now your host, Matt Campbell, founder of MyWeddingSongs.com.
Welcome, everybody, to the 100th episode of the Wedding Songs Podcast. I am Matt Campbell, and today we have a very special episode with country music artist Molly Lovette. She is based in Nashville, Tennessee right now. Welcome to the show, Molly.
Hello. Thanks so much for having me.
So I definitely wanted to have you on the show today because you recently released the song Flower Girl. Can you tell the backstory of the song?
Yeah, so I got this idea for Flower Girl actually from my roommate. She started dating this guy and he was awesome, just so good to her, so sweet. And he would bring her flowers literally all the time. And so at one point I said to her, I was like, "You're such a flower girl these days." And as soon as I said it, I was like, "Oh, that's a song. I'm going to go write that song." And so I brought it to a couple of my friends here in Nashville and we ended up writing this whole love story starting from when flowers may not be the greatest thing. You get them when someone apologizes, or it's always kind of a negative thing, to where you meet somebody who makes flowers special and really great. And then, we tell a whole love story to where it turns into a wedding and there's a flower girl and all of that.
I love that. It reminds me of a movie. They had all the money in the world, but they wanted to deliver flowers because everybody loves getting flowers. So I love that story of being that flower girl and making it special. Do you have special lyrics that are your favorites?
Yes, I kind of like the sad lyrics at the beginning. I feel like they're the most poetic of the song. One of the lines is self-incrimination displayed in a vase. I don't know how we came up with that line, but I think about that one a lot. And I'm like, that was a cool way of saying that. And one of the other ones at the beginning is sorry's real pretty when it comes wrapped in a bouquet. Those were kind of the beginning ones where you're in that stage of life where you just haven't found your person yet. And I think we told that part of the story in kind of a cool way.
I love that. That's very meaningful lyrics.
Thanks.
What has been the response to the song?
It's been really cool. It was my first song that I put out that immediately I feel like people really started listening to a ton and grabbed onto. Within the first couple weeks, we had 30,000 streams on Spotify, which was the quickest that's happened for any of my songs. I was really excited about that. And I actually got to play at CMA Fest here in Nashville this year. I had so many people come up to me after we played that song and just said, like, "That's your song. That's the song. Like, that's going to really take you to the next level or do something." And yeah, I think a lot of people can relate to this song for sure.
I love that. It's funny. I've had many conversations with artists in the past, and I always tell them, you just have to have the right love song. You could be the hardest rocking band, but if you have the right love song, it
Yes.
seems like you always take off.
Totally.
Flower Girl, of course, makes for a great wedding song. Do you have any expectations of when couples will play it during their wedding ceremony or reception?
Yeah, I think it'd be a really pretty first dance song. I know one of my co-writers, actually, her name's Haley Payne. She has a friend who's getting married next year and has already asked her if she could sing it at their wedding. So I think it'd be really pretty. We're actually putting out a wedding version of the song that is just a more stripped down piano, strings, really pretty version of it. So there's a couple options for people. I think it'd be really pretty even walking down the aisle as well.
Yes, wedding versions are very popular. And when do you think that's going to be released?
Actually, it is coming out November 3rd right now.
Just so everybody knows, the time of this recording is November 2nd, where this is probably going to be released near the end of November. You definitely have to check out the song Flower Girl. A little birdie told me that you also produced a music video of this song, and it's very special to you. Can you tell everybody why it's so special to you?
Yes, the music video, I was so excited to do it. I really haven't done too many music videos, but my cousin is the one who does all of my pictures, videos, anything we do, she does it. Lauren Hayes Media, she's awesome. So it was really cool getting to kind of talk through the concept with her and figure out what we were doing. But then we also had a bunch of our family and friends and everybody involved too. I kind of tricked one of my good family friends into being into the video. I just asked him if he wanted to be in the video, and he was like, yeah, sure. He showed up and had no idea that he was going to be the main character, my love interest. He was like, oh, I didn't sign up for this. So he did a great job, but he was not super thrilled to have to do that. But it turned out really, really cute. And one of my good friends, who's another artist, Mark Perkins, he was in the video as kind of the bad boyfriend, the guy before. And we had the literal cutest thing ever. My little cousin was the flower girl at the end of the video. And it's been so cool watching her watch herself in the video. Her mom texts me and sends me videos, and she keeps asking to watch herself on TV. She just keeps wanting to watch the video. It's really, really sweet. Then we also had my cousin's wedding dress in the video. We had my parents' wedding rings, my mom's veil. We had a lot of different aspects of my family in there, which made it even more special.
I think that's really going to help the video grow just because it is so special to you and there's so much sentimental. It's definitely going to be a family treasure at least.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's been cool. We sent it to my grandma and grandpa too, who they are almost 90, but are so always excited about my music and everything. And they were crying, and that's what a lot of people who I sent it to, they were like, oh, I'm crying now that it's over, like at the end. I'm like, I know, it's a really cute video.
Your made it moment. I love it.
Yes.
At least in your family's eyes.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So who are some of the artists that have influenced you as a music artist?
One of my greatest influences is Taylor Swift. Since I was little, like that is just who I always looked up to, wanted to be. I even have, as you can see behind me, a lot of bedazzled guitars that was inspired by her. I kind of took it upon myself to just make a bunch of them. So I have quite a few colors, and I'm hoping to make a whole bunch more. But yeah, Taylor, I've always loved her. I appreciate her as a songwriter, a businesswoman. Everything she's done, I think, is really, really smart and cool. And then honestly, a lot of the female country artists, Carrie Underwood, Kelsey Ballerini, I really love right now. Tim McGraw was a big one. I actually went to Tim McGraw in Faith Hill when I was 5 years old. That was my first concert that my parents went to.
That's a fantastic concert to be your first. I love it.
I know. Yeah. Tough bar to set there.
I'm going to show my age, but my first concert was the Judds with Charlie Daniels.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. That's awesome.
So if you could play with any current music artist, because I know you've opened up for Dierks Bentley, who would they be and where would you play?
Ooh, good question. Getting to open for Dierks was a dream come true. That was just earlier this year, just a couple months ago. And I actually decided while I was at the show, because I was like, you know what, the worst he can say is no. We were hanging out before the show in the green room, and I asked him if I could sing a duet with him during the show, and he said yes. So we got to sing his song Different for Girls together. I still can't believe that happened. Like, I just look back at videos and I'm like, that's me and Dierks. I've been listening to him since I was little. It's so crazy. So that was definitely a dream come true to get to sing with him. And I got to open for Priscilla Block earlier this year as well, who I'm a big fan of, and she was awesome, really, really cool. But the ultimate dream would be to sing with Taylor. That would make my life, honestly. But I'd love Tim McGraw. I'm a big fan of as well. I would love to get to go on tour with him, especially like somewhere in St. Louis, in my hometown. St. Louis is very special to me. So getting to do that back home would be really cool.
Those are some big shoes to fill and very well-known artists. Taylor is probably the biggest in the music industry right now, most streamed on Spotify. And exactly what you said, what she's doing, just re-releasing her music under her own label. I think that's very commendable.
Yes, for sure.
Do you have any upcoming projects that you can share with everybody?
So next year, I'm wanting to put out just more and more music. That's kind of the age we're in, is everybody wants things quick. So I'm going to try to put out quite a few more singles than usual. I usually put out about 3 songs a year, but I already actually have 3 songs ready to go for next year. So we'll just keep on hitting the studio and recording. I'm excited for that. Hopefully some more music videos too. I would love that. And then I'll be on the road just like I was this year. So hopefully we'll do some more opening acts and yeah, just playing a bunch of shows all over the country with my band.
I'm guessing you're going to be clipping those songs onto social media as well.
Yes, there is one that I have already been like teasing a little bit. That'll be my first single of the new year. It's a song called Clean Break. So if you stalk my TikTok or Instagram, I'm sure you could find that song.
Thank you. That's awesome. Just one more question here for you. What's the proudest moment that you've had? Maybe it's with Dirks, I'm not sure, but what's your proudest moment and what's your goal?
I think my proudest moment probably is the Dirk show, especially just because it wasn't really in the cards for us to get to sing together. And it was something that I just really hoped that would happen. And I hired a videographer just in case, because in my head I was like, I'm gonna plan to ask him and just see what he says. So that was really, really special. And I'll never ever forget that for as long as I live. But another cool moment for me was getting some radio play in my hometown at like our big country station that I grew up listening to. They played one of my songs, One Woman Show, it's called. They played that for a little while, and it was so cool because I was living in Nashville, but I would wake up early because it'd be on like people's drive to work that they would hear the song. So I'd wake up and be sitting in bed and listening to, my song come on, and I'd have so many people sending me videos and posting all about it, and that was really, really cool. And then some goals. Yeah, definitely more opening acts I would love to do, especially after this year. This was my first year where I got to open for Dirks and Priscilla Block, Kylie Morgan, Brian White, Brady Seals. So I finally got to kind of take it to the next level a little bit. So I hope that we'll just keep doing that next year. And eventually, I'll be the one that gets to headline and sell out stadiums and do all of that.
Yeah, the fun part of putting in the work becomes a challenge, but it also makes it worthwhile. Just like you said, doing those opening acts.
Totally. Yeah. I said to Dirks, I was like, I hope that, someday down the line, I'll get to do the same thing you're doing now for me, and I'll get to let somebody sing with me, and it's going to make their day.
I love it. So is there anything else that you would like to share with everybody today?
I would love for you guys to check out Flower Girl, obviously, especially the wedding version. We had so much fun just kind of reimagining that song and stripping it down a little bit. And I honestly don't even know which version I like better. So I'll let you guys decide. Let me know what you think. And I think it's a really, really pretty wedding song, first dance song. I actually got to sing at my cousin's wedding 2 years ago now. I sang their first dance song, and they've said like, oh, I wish you had written Flower Girl back then, because that would have been our song. So I hope that, a lot of people find this song and can make it theirs.
So if people want to follow you on social media or listen to your music, where can they find you?
I am all over social media. My website is mollylovette.com. My tour dates are on my site. And then on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all the things, Spotify, Apple Music, it's just Molly Lovette.
What are some upcoming tour dates that you're looking forward to?
Luckily and unluckily, tour kind of slows down a little bit in the winter. So December, we are only going to St. Louis for a weekend, which will be really nice because I'll get to see my family and all of that. But once the new year hits, we are heading to Orlando and Maryland. I think we're heading to Iowa. We're getting all around the country. So yeah, I'm excited to kind of get to some new places. I've never played in Florida, so I'm probably most excited for that one in January.
Well, right now it's still warm in Vegas. It's going to be about 77 today.
I'm so jealous, so jealous. I actually got to play in Vegas last year, and it was so much fun. Vegas is one of my favorite places, literally ever. So I'm jealous that that's where you get to be all the time.
Yes, it's especially one of our favorite shows every year is the iHeartRadio Festival. We get so many different artists. We saw Tim McGraw this year. Through the years, Zach Brown Band, just so many great artists and then mixed in with Alicia Keys. It's just unbelievable. Thank you very much, Molly, for being on the show today. And everybody, make sure that you pull out your phones, however you're listening, on Spotify, YouTube, and even on TikTok, and listen to the new song Flower Girl by Molly Lovette. Thanks for listening and have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Wedding Songs Podcast. Never miss a future episode. Subscribe today to our podcast. Follow us on Facebook at My Wedding Songs and send us a message about playlists you would like covered.